Hello, Mama Six with you with some more inspirations from Dee Dee's Inspirations, and I'm trying out making a bucket hat. So this is my first one, so we're gonna try to make it. Okay? Yes. So we got our seams done here. I don't know if you can see my seams. Let's take these out. Alrighty. Oh man, how dare you? How dare you do that?
Like that. And then then I've just snipped some notches in this time so I don't end up with way too many pins. So I've got notches that I've just snipped in, snips, that I'm just going to match up there and on this side as well. And then again, we're just easing everything into place. Oh, that pin's come out. And you can, if you want to, now that we've got everything matched, you can now bring your pins all the way through to this layer, the right side of your brim. So I'm just going to ease in the band to the brim, basically. So exactly the same principles as before. Just keeping lots of pins and holding it all in place. So I'll just do that and then I'll come back. So my brim is all now pinned to my band. So I'm now going to go round and stitch that in place, and I'm just going to use a centimetre seam allowance as other seam allowances on this project, and just make sure that everything's sitting nice and flat so that I don't get any pins and pucks and tucks. Okay, I'll go and do that and then we can come back.
That's what I did.
Okay, so that's all attached. And what you want to do now is give that a really good press, either with the iron or just with your fingers, and push that seam allowance up. So you're pushing the fabric back on top of the seam allowance, because when that's going to be the lining of my hat, I want the seam allowance to be going up. So at this stage, if you've got lots of threads, you can also give them a bit of a trim off, but this is all going to get hidden inside, so don't worry too much. Okay, this is now the final piece to be attached. I've gone round and done my trick with my machine stitching to mark out just less than 1 centimetre all around the bottom of the band of this piece, and I'm now going to go round folding that on that line of stitching. So you probably can't see that very well because I've used a colour matching thread, but I'm just going to go round now and finger press that line in place all the way around the bottom of the hat, like so. You could of course use the iron, but I'm just going to finger press for the moment because this has got the non-woven interfacing on the other side. Finger pressing is working quite well. So really I'm pressing so that that line of stitching, albeit that it's pretty invisible anyway, is just getting folded over to the inside edge. So I've now got this pressed all the way around. And what I'm going to do now is slide this over the top, matching up my side seams. So I'm going to match up there. And pin it there. So as always, I always match the most important points first. And so then I'm going to match up that side seam there.
Now we're ready to sew it together. The first thing that you want to do is unzip your zipper halfway, or maybe even a little bit more. We're going to bring the outer pieces right sides together, line up the bottom edges and the corners, and pin it in place. Now the lining piece, we are going to leave about a 3 to 4 inch opening at the bottom so that we can turn it inside out. This is one of the tips that will really help when we're putting this together, is to open that up and spread the seam allowance open and press it. And it seems like
Got me a bucket hat, a bucket hat. This is the first
So this
side.
area, it's crucial that we get this right.
Yeah,
so
y'all.
that this
Yep.
makes a really a nice, so that it makes a nice finish along that zipper tab. We're going to pull the zipper tab,
Gotcha.
fold it in, just fold it over, and point it.
And then again, the stitch length of 3.0.
I bet you're not excited to see 16 of you.
I am.
What are you eating?
Beyond Meat jerky, made from plants.
You don't understand us. You've evolved.
So should your snacks.
Delicious Beyond Meat jerky, 10 grams of plant-based protein.
Okay, and now that that's done, we're just going to slide over to here and we're going to baste through all of the layers. And you can base stitch right over the line where you did before. Here's our front completed, and this is what you should have so far. The two pockets should be sewn into place. If you open up your zipper, you'll see that you have your front lining sewn in place and your rear lining sewn in place. And you will not see any raw edges here.